Hey awesome ones! Today I have 8 clever tips and hacks to help you with your wardrobe and your closet. You know, I always feel so much better when I have things organized, so let's go. Now, if you're like me, you have to come up with clever ways to store things. We downsized from a 5-bedroom home, and well, I really have to get creative right now. So let's look at my first tip, and that's under the bed storage. So this is a fantastic item, and as you can see, I'm just showing my sandals now that I would wear in the summertime. The higher heels, I can just sort of put them on the side, water shoes, and everyday sandals. Now for tip number 2, let's talk about our undies drawer. And did you know that you're supposed to, replace your favorite undies every 6 to 12 months? Well, let's take a look at how I organize this drawer. So here I have folded all of my bras into each other, and I just sort of neatly packed in my undies, and at the top here, that's my shapewear. So tip number 3 is about changing with the seasons. How many of you are still trying to stuff your winter coats into your closet when it's warm outside? Let's look at a solution. So these clothes racks from Amazon are great, and you can even put boots underneath them. I could have easily had double the amount of coats, and it could go in my basement. And by the way, I'll have information on items such as that clothes rack, that kind of portable clothes rack, underneath the video. And tip number 4 has to be my favorite velvet hangers. And look how thin they are. I also have them for pants and also for tops as well. They're super thin, and you can get a lot more clothes into your wardrobe, and let's take a look at that. So see how many more clothes I can get with these thin hangers. And what I also like about them is the slinky clothes won't slide off. So the next tip is how I organize my clothing in my wardrobe. And by the way, stay till the end because I decided to show you my makeup and how I organize that as well. But let's look at the closet organization. So I like to go from the lightest clothing like camisoles through to maybe t-shirts, and they're a little heavier anyway. And also then I would go to shirts and blouses and sweaters and blazers, and of course I'll also have pants and dresses. All right, so tip number 6 is to keep your clothing color coordinated. And just before I get to that, I was thinking about those hangers, and I wanted to tell you that I do love to put my sweaters on those rounded velvet hangers. And I know a lot of women, they want to put them up on a shelf somewhere, high on a shelf, but I find that I never wear them that way. And this way, if they're hanging up in my closet, I can just say, hey, I want to wear that today, and it's all kind of color coordinated. And speaking about color coordinating, let's take a look at what I do in my wardrobe. So all the blouses and shirts in black are together, and the same with the white. Then I get into the fun stuff, the rainbow colors like orange, and maybe I'm in the mood to wear red, or maybe perhaps shocking pink. And as you can see, I get into the blues and everything else, and then of course I'm into the jackets. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell. I would love you to join us here in our little awesome community. And by the way, are you watching my live presentations? They're every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they're at amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50, where we kind of chat like girlfriends, and I show you items on skincare and makeup, of course, fashion, and even home goods. So I really hope that you can make it. And if you can't, I did find out that at the very bottom of that page, at amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50, at the very bottom, all my replays are there. So if you miss it, you don't have to miss it. So for tip number 7, let's talk about our scarves. And do you have scarves like all over in a basket somewhere, or maybe again they're folded up high on a shelf? Well, that just doesn't work for me. I don't feel like rummaging through a basket, but I think I have a clever idea for you, so let's take a look. So shower hooks help me keep my scarves in my closet and by my blazers. Now I do use little baskets, and you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, what does she use her little baskets for? Well, I use one of them for clothes helpers. And you're probably thinking to yourself, what are clothes helpers? And let's take a look. All right, so these are things that I need in a jiffy, like double-sided tape, tied to go, even a shoe shine little gizmo here. And also I wanted to mention that before I get dressed, I'm always making sure to put on my SPF, so I even have a box for that. Now I promised you as a bonus I would show you my makeup and how I organize it, so here it is. I love these plexiglass holders. They keep all my lipsticks together, they keep my eyeliners, my shadows, and you know, you can just see, I can see things at a glance. And also I love the way that the brushes are because I can find them too real quick. Now I know a lot of us know about toss it, donate it, or keep it. And I gotta tell you, you know, if you're going through your wardrobe, and maybe you might even want to do it this weekend, just throw everything on the bed and then really take a look. Do you have 10 pairs of black pants? Do you have, you know, blazers, work blazers that you really don't wear anymore? Because there are women in shelters and women in shelters for abused women who really could use some of these items. And so it always feels really good to me when I donate my clothes. And, you know, I also think it's really important to have an uncluttered mind. And I certainly did have an undies drawer that was just a mess. And I would just go through everything and try to rummage through and find something. And you know what? I had to throw them all out. You might think, well, she hardly has anything in there, but I got some in the wash and I got some in the drawer, and that's just fine. And sometimes less is more. So the real reason that I did this video is I just really want you to have a bit of an uncluttered mind. And also in those mornings when you're trying to find something to wear, it's going to be a lot easier for you. You're going to be able to find a great outfit, and you're also going to be keeping it awesome.